Shalom, shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. The honors the apostles and elders of the great millstone who rule well. And salutations to the brethren on the four corners of the earth, pushing his word in truth and in sincerity. Now, I just wanted to say a few words on the topic of, growing in the spirit, because right now, we living in an exciting time. We living in times of, hey, the triple D, man, death, destruction, and diligence, and death and destruction is rampant right now, as much as diligence is, and we have to learn how to grow in the spirit, and be in the spirit a lot more, because now things are going to happen where every decision we make has to be spiritual, even when it comes to leading a flock, leading the brothers in your camp and leading your own household and listening to the spirit, and letting the spirit guide yourself, and right at this time, there's a lot of things that the flesh is going to attack, and a lot of things that, that's going to plague your mind as to being a leader, being a man, and just being a man in truth. Period. There's a lot of things that's going to happen that's going to test you spiritually, and we have to learn how to not only walk in the spirit, but listen to the spirit as well, and to pray and pray to grow, because that's the only way we're gonna make it through these times, man. Is to grow, grow in the spirit, So I wanted to start with Romans chapter 7, verse 18. It says, "For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing, because the flesh is wicked exceedingly. For to will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good I find not." Because sometimes the flesh takes over, man. Sometimes the flesh makes you go off. It's not that you're willing to go off, in your spirit, but the flesh sometimes gets the best of us, which comes in the scriptures of mortifying our members, man. We have to get our flesh under control, It says, "For the good that I would, I do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do, So he's trying to go one way, but the flesh keeps pulling him the other way, and it's a constant battle, a constant struggle, between the spirit and the flesh. We have to train our spirits to overcome our flesh and win that battle. It says, "I find then a law," Sake, verse 20, "Now if I do that I would not, it is no more that I do it, but sin that dwelleth in me," right? Because like I said earlier, our flesh is wicked, We were conceived in sin, We grew up in sin, before we were brought under the wings of Yahweh Shemiah Shine the truth, It says, "I find then a law that what I would do good, evil is present with me," So and it's always in the back of your head, man. The demons are always in the back of your head, in the back of your mind, in your subconscious, just telling you, to be wicked, man. Trying to give excuses to be wicked, trying to get you to go off in some odd shape or form, man. "For I delight in the law of the Most High after the inward man, but I see another law in my members, which that law in the members is the law of death, man, sin, warring against the law of my mind, which is the spirit, man, and bringing me into captivity of the law of sin, which is in my members, because we wouldn't really need the law, if everyone was spiritual, we wouldn't need the law, The law is put there to keep the flesh in check, to be honest, That's why he said, it's bringing him into the captivity of the law of sin, which is in my members. Because you can only sin, by taking after the flesh, But if you walk in the spirit, you don't have to worry about sinning, "O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death?" Which is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. But we will only be delivered from the bodies of death if we, continue to grow in the spirit, man, Because we're not going to make it to our deliverance on the chariots of the Most High, being carnal and being fleshly. We have to learn how to put our members under subjection so that we can live, think, and breathe in the spirit. Speaking of walking in the spirit, it's Galatians 5:16. It says, "This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh." So if you walk in the spirit, like I said, you won't have to worry about sinning and going off, man. you'll be in the spirit with things, so the decisions you make, whether they're point blank, strife in the moment decisions, or long drawn out, decisions that you have to think about. Either way it goes, you're going to push your flesh and your emotion to the side to make the correct decision in the spirit, whether it's leading, or whether it's leading the flock, or leading your household, or anything dealing personally with you. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and those are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. Right? Because there's a constant struggle, and that's the constant fight that we have to fight, man. Because Yahushua, he fought the same fight. He fought against the law of he fought against the law of the flesh, man, and won. So we will be able to do it too, because we are his joint heirs, man. And we are sent to grow in the spirit and take after Yahushua. He was set forth as an example, right? So we are to follow that example, and eventually we'll get there, So you don't have to worry about, thinking that you're always going to be going off, or always going to be being, getting carnal. No. The elect are going to be the ones to overcome the flesh, man. But if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. See? Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, and lasciviousness. Idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, and all these things, all these wicked, these wicked traits of the flesh, man, are actually stem from your emotions, man. Of not being spiritual of certain situations, of not, taking things to heart and actually thinking things through, man. Envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such alike, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Because the scriptures say corruption cannot inherit incorruption. And all of these things that are listed right here, all of these spirits, all of these demons, are actually corruption, man. Which we aren't gonna be saved, by doing any of these things. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And they that are Yahweh's have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. So they that are Yahweh's, meaning the 144,000 and the elect, will overcome the flesh, man. And move on to the spirit, and grow thereby, Because we're in the time now that you have to be spiritual, man. There's no room for the flesh. Like the scriptures say, make no provision for the flesh. That's where we have to be. That's where we have to be with this world at the moment. If we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit. Because one wrong decision, one fleshly or carnal-minded decision, could be a difference between life or death for you. Especially now, when you got hurricanes and forest fires and tsunamis and earthquakes and plagues and all types of things are happening now, man. Especially with the world going the way it is, and the mindset of the people, man. Like scriptures say, man, we are sent as sheep among wolves. Like I said, you have to be careful what you do around these people as well, man. Because they don't understand. They're always looking to get a one up on you. They're always looking to crucify you in some manner, man. To show forth that you're a false prophet, or show forth that you're not, a man of the Lord, or something. So we have to be spiritual in our interactions as well, man. Because like I just said, one wrong decision would be the difference between life or death, or the difference between, you being embarrassed, or you being in a bad situation, man. Matthew 10:16, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves, Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves, So you have to be crafty with the way that you deal with people, the way that you deal with if you got social media, you got to be crafty with what you throw up on social media. You got to be crafty about you're giving your phone number out to whatever person, or giving your contact information out to whatever person, or hell, you even got to be crafty about teaching certain people, you know, because some people just want the truth just to use it against use as a weapon against someone, man, you know. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues, you know. It says beware of men, you know, because like I said, people don't understand, and they always fear what they don't understand, you know, which they do they should fear, but they're fearing in the wrong manner, man. They're fearing that you're a threat uh, to their foothold in this society, man, when they should be fearing the Lord, you know. So they're gonna do whatever is possible to scourge you, man, you know, to purge you out of this world, man, you know. So that's really what this is about, man. So we have to be spiritual, you know. The Lord is forcing us to, you know. This is 1 Peter 2:19. For this is thankworthy, if a man for conscience toward the Most High endure grief, suffering wrongfully, you know. And this is coming from a standpoint of being rebuked, you know. Being rebuked, the Lord putting you through certain situations to where, you know, putting you in dire straits, or you know, or putting you in a situation where you can't pay your rent, or you have to move out, or your woman leaving you, or you can't see your kids, or, you know, whatever it is, you know, we have to suffer it, you know. Hell, even when you're being rebuked and you're actually, you know, you might be right on the situation, or you might just be right on, you know, on your intentions, but the way you went about doing it was wrong. Whatever the case may be, you know, we have to endure the grief of the world, you know, endure grief with each other, you know, endure the grief that the Lord puts on us, you know. We got to deal with the demons. We got to deal with all of this, you know. Suffering wrongfully, for what glory is it if, when ye were buffeted for your faults, meaning you were slowed down, or you were rebuked, or you know, or you were stopped, ye shall take it patiently. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what the Lord is saying. You know, take it patiently, because it's doing nothing but making you better and growing you in this to grow you and exercise your senses, man, and to grow in the spirit. But if when you do well and suffer it, you take it patiently. So either way it goes, you know, whether you fuck up, you know, get rebuked, suspended, or whatever, you know, the case may be, you know, or you do something wrong in the world and you suffer for it, you know, or if you do the right thing, you know, and you still suffer for it, because we are living in Babylon, man. So there's no getting ahead, you know, but we can get ahead in the spirit, you know. So this is learning from our mistakes and our past gripes, and, you know, whatever situation you're in, man. You know, it's a learning experience. You know, we are to take it patiently. You know, I wish I did well. You know, he didn't have any faults. He did well, and he was suffering for it, man, and he took it patiently. You know, just like all the apostles and disciples at one point, man. You know, they were buffeted for their faults, and when they were doing well, they suffered for it, man. So how much more us? This is acceptable with the Most High. For even ere too, where ye are called, because Yahushua also suffered for us, leaving us an example, right? That ye should follow his steps, man. You know? So he's the example for us that we should follow after him, man. Everything that he did, you know? Because he suffered and he took it patiently, you know, and he grew, you know? And so did the apostles and the disciples and the elders, you know, and on down, man, to brothers that have rank over you, to men in your own camp, you know, to our own peers, man. You know, it's an ever revolving circle, you know, but it's in the same circle of spirituality, you know, just like Elisha, you know, just like, you know, Yahweh Shai, he was our example, you know, we should be like Elisha, man. Elisha, he prayed, or he asked Elijah to give him a double portion of his spirit, man, you know, so he can be stronger, you know, so he can have more of a spiritual connection with the Most High. And that's what we should be, you know, thinking about and praying for and asking for, man. To have the same spirit put on us that was put on Yahweh Shai and the disciples, you know, and the apostles and our elders before us, man. It's in 2 Timothy 2:9. And it came to pass, when they were gone over, that Elijah said unto Elisha, Ask what I shall do for thee, before I be taken away from thee. And Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. So he didn't ask for anything carnal, man. When when Elijah asked Elisha this question, it was actually a spiritual question. And Elisha, he noticed that and he asked for something spiritual, man, because he was spiritual about, he thought spiritually about his answer, you know? And he said, Thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so. And it came to pass as they still went on and talked, and behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes and rent them in two pieces. He took up also the mantle of Elijah that fell from him, and went back and stood by the bank of Jordan. And he took the mantle of Elijah that fell from him, and smote the waters, and said, Where is the Lord power of Elijah? Yahweh, power of Elijah. And when he also had smitten the waters, they parted hither and thither, and Elisha went over. It's like, yeah. So basically what happened was the Lord actually gave Elisha, 2 times the spirit that Elijah had, man. Because he asked for it and it was spiritual, man. The Lord, will give us spiritual things if we ask for him, That's the thing. That's the thing that we have to learn, man, is to not be carnal and to be spiritual about everything. Even when we ask the Lord, for certain things, we have to be spiritual about it, man. And really, the main thing that we should be asking for is more knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, man. So that we can, that we can lead the flock, that we can put up more videos, that we can teach more, that we can prophesy more, that we can use more wisdom, because that's the only thing that's going to get us deliverance, man. Not having a roof over our heads and having a good job and all of that, man. We are to grow in the spirit, man, not grow in the world, And I think 1 Kings 3:9 is a great example of that, because King Solomon, even in his sleep, he asked for knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and discernment, man, in order to lead the people. And these are exactly the traits that we're going to need to develop in order to, one, listen to the Spirit and get through, the hard times that are ahead, and two, so we can get delivered, and three, so we can, be great rulers in the kingdom of heaven. This is 1 Kings 3:9. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this thy so great a people? And the speech pleased the Lord, and Solomon had asked this thing. And the Most High said unto him, Because thou hast asked this thing, and hast not asked for thyself long life. See? Because you were spiritual about what you wanted, and you didn't ask for me anything carnal, neither hast thou asked for riches for thyself, nor hast asked the life of thine enemies, but thou hast asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment. Right, so we didn't ask for anything fleshly that we could have asked for, man. Behold, I have done according to thy works. Lo, I have given thee a wise and an understanding heart, so there were none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall any arise like unto thee. And I have also given thee that which thou hast not asked, both riches and honor, so that there shall not be any among the kings like unto thee all thy days. And that's the thing, man. King Solomon asked for spiritual things, and the Lord gave him those spiritual things plus the carnal things that he didn't ask for, And honestly, these carnal things that that we don't have at the moment, that we aren't asking, that Lord willing you aren't asking for, but we're asking for spiritual things, we're going to get at the end of this world. Just think about it. We don't have riches right now, but in the kingdom we'll have the riches. We don't have long life, but in the kingdom we're going to live forever. And we didn't ask, for the life of our enemies, but before this world is ended, the life of our enemies will be put down, man. So all of those things we're going to have, as long as we, keep these things, which is understanding, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, to discern judgment. Because that's what matters, man. That's what matters at the moment, Because we're going to need this knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and discernment to get through the woes that are ahead of us, man. You know, so we can make it to our deliverance. It says, "Behold, I have done according to thy words. Lo, I have given thee a wise and understanding heart, so that there was none like thee. Neither after thee shall any arise like unto thee. And I have also given thee that thou which hast not asked, both riches and honor, so that there shall not be any among the kings like unto thee all thy days. And if thou wilt walk in my ways, to keep my statutes and my judgments, as thy father David did walk, then I will lengthen thy days." See? So we keep the law, statutes, and commandments, or I mean, now at the moment to the best of our ability, and teach the word. Then we're gonna have long life. We're gonna live forever, man. You know. But the whole point is being spiritual, man, and growing in the spirit. Because if we don't, we're not going to get any of those things. And we're not going to make it to our deliverance. So with that, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Give honor to the Apostle Elder Gray Millstone, who wrote well. And salutations to the brethren on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.